Hello to the uninitiated, and welcome to the Centerway Society. Today, we are going to dive in to more theories. But first, let's introduce the already initiated. First, he's normally our host, and he's our humble podfather. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Rob.
I'm here representing the non-spares, and fuck you people who think that we are spares.
Next, he's the gentleman who came up with this idea for this podcast. And he's also our anti-Jamie. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Jordan.
The anti-Jamie lives on.
And next, last time we told you he was a veteran of podcasting from the Firebear Republic, and he is also our very own Kevin Owens lookalike. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Dustin.
What's up, Defender? I'm here representing all the muggles and the muggleettes.
And of course, I am the DC Defender from the Firebear Republic, and a pure-blood Gryffindor for this episode. I am Brother James. This episode, we will be talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. All right, fellas, nice. So y'all ready to unlock these series?
Let's go.
All right.
I'm excited.
Check it out.
Here, I got my wand. I got my Hogwarts alumni hoodie. I'm
Rob,
ready to go.
no sexual innuendos, okay?
Look,
this is family friendly.
Yo, check it out. I even got a spell for this, y'all. Y'all ready? Aloha Mora. Aloha Mora. That was kind
It's
of
more impressive when things work.
Yeah, it was like real. We'll just have to edit that. All right. So...
Oh my gosh, James, that was wonderful.
You need like a thunder sound effect to happen in the background.
Or key unlock.
I'll do what I can.
Okay. All right, so for the first theory, guys, is the sorting ceremony is what I'm going to call this one. But why don't any of the first years know why or how they're sorted? And I mean, it's a little bit more difficult than you think because you got Ron, who's in a wizarding family, multiple generations. By the time he's there, there's probably, 8 people who have gone through the ceremony? His mom, his dad, all his brothers. So Percy, Charlie, Bill,
7.
Fred, and George. So 7.
7.
He'd be the 8th. And then there's Hermione, who has read just about everything she could on Hogwarts. So you're telling me there's no...
Yeah, she even states history of Hogwarts,
exactly.
right?
So there's nothing in history of Hogwarts about the sword.
That is very odd.
So could there be... here's my theory. And I love this theory. I got it from the Super Carlin brothers. Is there a Fidelius charm on the sorting hat?
Question.
Yes.
What is the charm? I don't understand. As a non-Harry Potter person.
So the Fidelius charm is a charm where one person becomes the secret keeper. So that only they know the secret. So let's say, in fact, we're going to jump ahead a little bit to kind of past and future because we find this out. So Harry's parents, James and Lily Potter, chose one person to trust on who they were hiding, where they were hiding. And only he knew, not even Dumbledore knew where they were. And he was able to tell Voldemort. And then once Voldemort was shown where that secret was, he was able to go find them and kill them.
So once you're included on the secret, you know about the secret.
However, you cannot tell anybody.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense in any sense, but
yeah, however, you can't tell anybody. You know the secret, but you can't tell anybody. Only the secret keeper can.
That's how the enchantment works. Gotcha. Okay, so the sorting hat is its own...
That's my theory.
Secret keeper?
Because and I mean, it's not a human, but it is a sentient object because of the magic that's put on it. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, Rob, I see you thinking.
I gotta be honest. I know we're not supposed to shit on theories. I know that's one of the things that we had talked about, like, straight up from the beginning, is that we're not going to shit on theories. This one I have to take a little bit of a dump on. Just because if the hat was under the Fidelius, I don't know. I can't. I always called it the Fidelis charm. I could be completely wrong, and I probably am with the pronunciation on that, but that's besides the point. No one would have been. None of the first years would have been able to see the hat until they were told the secret.
Interesting.
They brought it in on the stool. They set it down, and that's when it's all like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. We just got to put a hat on our heads. If it was protected by the charm, then there would not have been able to see it when it came in. They would have had been told the secret, and then it would just appear, which is what happens later on in Order of the Phoenix when we first actually hear about the charm itself. So that's like the only thing I can think of. I just does not make sense to me. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's tradition, which Hogwarts and the wizarding world thrives on tradition. You're not supposed to know. When you enter in as a first year, you know very little. Like the purebloods and magical raised, not like Hermione or Harry or Justin Finch-Fletchley or any of the other, or Colin Creevey in later on movies, how they were Muggle-born or Muggle-raised. So the tradition of the Sorting Hat is just steeped in just so much in all these wizarding families that it is just like the first train ride to Hogwarts or going through the column to get onto platform 9 3/4. It's all based on tradition, and you're not supposed to know. You don't know until you find out. Which is why, like, Ron's brothers mess with Ron, saying, "Oh, you have to battle a troll to find out what house you're in." You find out about the houses, you know about the houses beforehand. But the Sorting Hat is the long-standing tradition since the beginning of Hogwarts. You don't know till you get there.
So this is like a wizard version of like Santa Claus isn't real or something?
Not like Santa Claus isn't real. It's just like...
No, that's actually a pretty good analogy.
Is it?
It's essentially, yeah, if you think about it. I mean, first years don't get to know, and then the people that find out the secret, which would be like, if we contrast to like the Santa thing, is like you find out Santa's not real, but then you don't try to be a dick and tell people that don't know that yet, Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see
but this side of it would be essentially like, I mean, Rob, how many times when we went to recertification classes did all the brand new technicians that came with us and we told them, "Oh, just be prepared because you got to take a test after this, okay?" And they'd freak the fuck out, and then we get to the end of the class and there's no recertification test.
You just got to sign a form.
You just got to sign a form that says you get credits. It's that same thing. It's like it's what you're saying. It's tradition. It's just the way things have been, and it's funnier like to mess around with people than it is to not. But I think there is something to it with the tradition.
Yeah.
Being like, it's just something that they've always done. Now, I could see some cases where maybe, like, for instance, like, Ron's brothers were trolling him, pun intended.
Nah,
but there could be other family sets that could have told them the secret of, like, oh, no, you wear a hat.
Oh, I could see the Malfoy family knowing it.
Yeah, like people that just want to ruin
Draco
things.
knew, and he was a dick, so...
Yeah.
Now, question, since I'm kind of a layman when it comes to this stuff. The hat is tied to the foundation of the school, correct?
Yeah.
Now, in the history of Hogwarts that Hermione is talking about at the beginning of the movie, why wouldn't it reference it, though? I mean, I get that there's a tradition to the whole thing, but doesn't that seem like a very important step in everything?
Well, let's start here. It's Hogwarts a history, not a history of Hogwarts. Sorry, I'm going to be a dick about this.
Well,
I mean, it's fair enough, yeah.
The ceiling was bewitched, though.
Yes,
So you would
'cause
think that
go
they would
over-
say something about a bewitchment on the hat. I get where Dustin's coming from on this one.
Okay, I can see where you're coming
Yeah.
from. I just think if they wanted to keep the tradition, if that was the thought and process, even the writers of the book, or if there was more than one writer, would want to keep that tradition alive, thus not referencing the Sorting Hat. I get where you're coming from. I don't know why they wouldn't, because it is a major part of Hogwarts, and it's just it'll go over the houses, obviously, because she read them in Hogwarts of History, but the fact that they did not actually state why or how you are sorted. I mean, like I said, it all comes down to tradition. At least that's my viewpoint. So,
Yeah.
I would say it's tradition. I mean, how many times in our lives when we were growing up did we have some type of thing that was like, oh man, you don't even know yet. You don't know what's going to happen when you get there. And then you get there and it's like nothing. It's just to scare you type of thing.
Yep.
Type of thing.
Yep.
So, many summer camps. I remember my first year versus every other years. And it was your first year you were fucking terrified. After that, it was you were the one that became the terrifier.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. This one is strictly for kind of the movie. So in the movie, Harry's class should be a lot larger, according to the books and everything. However, they're condensed to maybe like 27 first years, maybe 30. If you look at the sorting ceremony, could this be because there was a baby drought due to the Dark Lord? Either they were in Dumbledore's army and they were being killed off, or people were just not wanting to have kids who were going to be raised in a world with Voldemort.
Yes. Next question.
That
Yes,
is
next
dark.
Yeah. I saw this
that
one.
is-
This one made me go, ooh.
That is 100%
So
true.
I'm gonna be real with you. I thought based off the wording on it that we were talking about why they were lower than average. I thought you meant like where they were at with their studies and how good they were, not
Yeah,
the amount of them. Because I was like, if we go into that, man, that's essentially the theory of like Star Wars. Why like in the prequels, they're doing flips and doing all this crazy stuff, but when you get to the original trilogy, it's like they're not really doing any of that anymore, and it's because of the whole Order 66 type of thing. Now that being understanding this, yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I mean, it's kind of hard to. You got to remember too, though, right? Because Voldemort was killing kids. Like Harry was supposed to die. Anybody disagree with that? Harry was supposed to die the night that he killed his parents.
Yeah, and that's why I still think he was one of the worst villains of all time from our villain bracket battle. Like he was straight up
Right.
ready just to
That's a
kill
different
a
show.
baby.
Yeah. But so now think about that. Let's say that there was supposed to be 60 first years, but Voldemort went through and was like, every kid that was born in June's about to get fucked up.
And I'm just going to say it, too. It doesn't put you in the mood. All that going on in the news.
That's true. I'll give you that. Well, you also got to look. I mean, I'm going to go a little bit broader here, if it's okay with you guys. Hogwarts is a castle. Am I wrong here?
No, it's a huge castle.
You got to think that the wizarding population has declined since what? Even maybe not the beginnings of Hogwarts, but over at least the last 100 years. What with the Grindelwald Wars, Salem witch trials, like the exposure of the magical world at times. It's why they created the statute of secrecy to begin with, and now we're getting more into like fantastic beasts and where to find them. But that's besides the point. But I think this is definitely 100% correct on the nose. But I think just the wizarding population had been declining to a point where now this is just holy shit. In like 50 years, you're really not going to have that many people hanging around. So
It really seems a lot smaller compared to Fantastic Beasts, too. I mean,
yeah.
that's only like, what,
Oh, yeah.
40 years or so?
Well, no. So Fantastic Beasts would be happening around like late 1920, early 1930s, up until like I
so
think
this is
because
about 60
when
years.
Yeah, so because the battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald happens in like 1940, I think,
And while Fantastic
I think.
Beasts kind of goes
42,
all over the
43.
place.
something like that. So and then like the Harry Potter stuff of it is probably like 48,
90s,
like
right?
it's,
It's the
it's
90s.
early 90s. So you're talking about 42, 43 years or something like that, or 45 years.
Harry's first year is 1991.
91. So yeah, so I know the Grindelwald Dumbledore battle happens. I think it's either late 1930s or early 1940s.
So hold on, Harry's first year is in 1991. So all those people who wonder why they use an owls and not cell phones, because they weren't around yet for no text messages. Okay, just going. I get tired of seeing that.
Personal theory: grunge doesn't exist in the Harry Potter world because we never heard any Nirvana, any Soundgarden.
I don't
nothing.
know, man, because there's the
Wicked.
in Goblet of Fire,
Oh god,
where that band's kind of like they're like a weird grunge.
the
It's-
Weird Sisters. I think that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, they
Yeah.
had grunge music in Harry
Well,
Potter.
not like full on. Like, have you not seen Goblet of Fire?
I mean, I've seen them at some point.
It's a really,
Yeah.
it's honestly a horrible scene, and I don't know why they wanted this in the movie, but it's essentially like it's a wizarding band, like a wizard band, and they're like this weird like indie emo grunge type sound. It's weird, man.
Yeah, they chose that over
Okay.
Blast Ended Screws. But that's fourth movie. We're on first.
Yeah. We could still bring up when Dustin's wrong on things, we can still
Yeah.
correct him. Okay.
Oh yeah, correct me on this because I don't know shit about Harry Potter.
Just so we're all on the same page, the duel between Grindelwald and Dumbledore took place on November 2nd, 1945.
There you go. Because I knew it kind of the timelines kind of lined up with like World War II. I remember
yeah.
that.
Definitely.
So do y'all think, like, after Voldy's gone in 98, do you think things kind of pick back up for, like, Wizards? Do you
Well,
think they started...
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
the Weasleys were all around, so they probably had like 12 children
Yeah,
each. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
banging
could.
out kids left, right, and center.
Yeah, because Harry and
Harry's with
Ginny end up having 3, right?
Yeah. And then Hermione and...
Because the
Hermione and
have
Ron
3.
had 2.
Yep.
2.
No, was it
Yep.
3? I
think
thought
it was
2.
It may have been 2. I want to say 3 because I think they had... No, it may have been 2. I know they had 1 at Hogwarts and 1 wanting to go.
What are they, like, fucking Catholic and they don't believe in like contraception or something?
well, I mean, it was that the time was right, and
And have you,
you know
seen Emma Watson?
Harry ends up becoming like a master orer. So
Yeah.
he's got the salary.
He became the head of the Auror office.
Yeah.
And Ron and Hermione had 2 kids, Rose and Hugo.
That's right. It was Harry's little girl that wanted to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because at the end of the last movie, where they do like what is it, 13 or 19 years later? I think it's 19.
19.
19, yeah. So that scene where that kid, he's like Harry's kid, and they do the whole talk. He's like, I named you after the two best wizards ever, or the two best
bravest
headmasters
men you've
ever
ever known. Come on,
ever
get
known.
with it, Jordan.
Whatever. You know what I'm getting at. I'm making fun of the scene, not trying to be accurate to the scene. So that kid ends up being like the little shit that almost brings Voldemort back,
Yes, that's
because
true.
he's the cursed child.
Albus Severus
Yep.
Potter.
Oh,
Just
hate that book.
dumbass name. Cursed child. is
I
a
would
dumb
still love to. I would still love to see the movie.
I do
Like,
want to see the play.
I wish they would.
shit. I would like to see the play.
I don't want to see the play. I want to
You don't
make.
wanna
I
see
want
the
them
play,
to
really?
make. Don't care about the play. I want them to make it into a movie, so I'll actually give a shit about it.
All right, gentlemen. So theory number 3. This one we're going to call Potions class. And Harry's first day in his first class with Professor Snape, Snape's first words to him are, and I'm going to read this just so I can get this right.
Yeah, how dare
Yeah.
you not be accurate?
Exactly.
What would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood? So the theory is this is a secret message that to Harry, even though from Snape, that Harry didn't get, that nobody else got but Snape. And the reason why is according to the Victorian flower language, asphodel is a type of lily which is Harry Potter's mom.
Yep.
Meaning my regrets follow you to the grave. And wormwood means absence. It's also typically symbolized bitter sorrow. So if you combined it, it means I bitterly regret Lily's death. Do you think this is just a play on words from our esteemed author? Or do you think this is actually something that she put in there as a secret message for fans to try to find as an Easter egg?
100% secret message, because J.K. Rowling is not that smart to just be like, randomly get that exactly, you know what I mean? There's no fucking way. It was definitely a message that was put in there by her. And then, I mean, like, when you go through and then either reading the books or watching the movies, Snape is the hard-ass stepfather on Harry without actually being a stepfather. Can we agree on that? Super abusive. Super abusive.
No.
Super abusive.
He would be like the stepfather
Mentally.
in Sling Blade. Like, super abusive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, abusive as hell.
Absolutely hates
But
him.
that's who he plays. Yeah, that's who he plays, which is you find out, you know, while he's dying, Harry gets the tears, goes and fucking puts it in, and then you now find out the entire time he was trying to essentially protect Harry and do all this
that's
for
not
him.
right.
So it's like, yeah,
But he loved her so much that he
No.
loved Harry, right?
I don't think he
And
ever
he was-
loved Harry. I
No?
think he just wanted to protect Harry to protect Lily's legacy.
yeah. At no point would I ever say that he loved Harry. I could say, I'd be like, if you told me like he was okay with Harry, that's fine. But love, it's a fucked up love. But yeah, I mean, he shows Harry what his, like, everything that he cared about for Lily and all that stuff back in the day. So no, I think he absolutely, like, there's a reason for that message, right?
And you think it's an Easter egg, or you don't think it's an Easter egg? You think it was like a direct message or not a direct message?
I think it was 100% a planned direct message to Harry. Absolutely. And the only person that could even answer the question was Hermione, and she wasn't answering the question the way that it was stated to Harry, as far as it being like this is a coded message type thing. She was trying to be the know-it-all.
So why would Snape want to reveal that relationship to Harry, though? Wasn't the whole point to
that's
stay
the
away
thing.
and keep
Like,
him?
there's-
I don't think he was
Keep him
trying.
safe.
I don't think he was trying
There's
to
no
reveal
way
it to
Harry would even be able to know.
I think he was trying to get. Yeah, I think he was trying to get guilt off of his chest.
Oh, say it without saying it.
Exactly, yeah. Because, I mean, how fucked up is it? Like, imagine you, for instance, like, to just throw an analogy out there. Let's say I'm the most prolific chemistry person in the world, and you, who's never done chemistry in the world, or never done chemistry ever in your life, I'm trying to fucking test you on chemistry about things that I'm supposed to know, but you're not. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Because Snape knows all about the potion stuff. He knows all about everything that has to do with it. Harry knows fucking literally nothing. At least, like, Hermione and, you know, the Weasleys, they had some type of training or some type of, like Hermione just wanted to know everything. She applied herself, so she studied as much as she could. The Weasleys, they have generations of kids going through the school that they probably helped them a little bit here and there. Harry, honestly, was like, he essentially is Rain Man. Like, he's the furthest from education, but ends up, like, being the hero.
It is really
Yeah,
odd
do
how
the
he
one
kind of
spell.
learns about the whole wizarding world, and then is just instantly, like, in school. Like,
well,
within,
not only that,
like, what
but
is
he's,
it, a
like,
week or
one of
something?
the best
Or a few
wizards
days?
in the school too. Like, he's like, well, let me say this right.
Hold on. Remember, we're on the movies. We're on the books.
Like, we're doing both, but like, he's an ungodly natural flyer. Ooh, an ungodly natural flyer. And then, like, toward the end, we're getting a little bit further in the book, but he's the one who goes through and is able to see through the mirror and get the stone because he's so pure of heart. Rob's making faces. Yeah.
Rob, you want to
Rob's
say
making
something?
faces.
Go
Say
for it,
Let
Rob.
Rob go.
Say
All right.
it. Say it with
Okay.
your chest.
Okay. I think I'm gonna stick with, we're not gonna get into the whole Harry Potter is God among wizards because that is some bullshit. That's besides the point. Let's stick with just what we're talking about here in the theory. I think it all comes down to your view of Severus Snape. Um, I think he feels regret that Lily died, but he gives zero shits about Harry. He gives zero shits about his dad. He gives zero shits. I mean, what kind of human being? Sorry, Severus Snape is a trigger for me because I can't stand the man. Although Alan Rickman, you are amazing. Thank you for playing Severus. You are missed every single day. Nakatomi Plaza forever. It all depends on your viewpoint of Snape. I think he feels some regret towards Lily's death, especially since, it's his fucking fault to begin with. So I think, yes, it is him trying to express some type of regret without actually trying to express any type of regret. Because the man has no balls. So, fuck Severus Snape, by the way.
Damn, hot take.
I hate Severus Snape. I think he is the worst human. Yes, he was a spy for the light, but that does not make up for the horrendous, horrible, just god-awful things that he did in life. I hope he's in hell.
I don't know if we're breaking too far off of topic here, but like as a movie only watcher, he comes across as like an unsung hero in the movies, as far as I can tell. Like he was the one that was actually trying to do good stuff, and Dumbledore was actually kind of more of a villainous character in the grand scheme of things.
I think Dumbledore, you could put a lot at his feet.
He was a very complex man.
He was a very complex.
There is a big theory about him too.
We'll get into that in another.
Well, this
episode,
encompasses all the movies. This is.
Oh, this episode? Well, then we're
no,
gonna be here for
not
the
this
next, like,
episode.
5
The
hours.
theory.
No. He's
Yeah,
talking
it's called
about the
Dumbledore's
theory.
Big Plan.
I know.
So,
I think we'll just have to do another episode where we do an overarching that encompasses like all of the whole actual Harry Potter universe versus going movie by movie, because there's a lot out there that encompasses just the universe as a whole, and that includes Dumbledore and his plan. So
I do agree with Rob to an extent. When it comes to Snape, I think he was a horrible, horrible person, but it's kind of, how do I want to say this? When you're pushed to a certain point, you can start to become that horrible person. And if it wasn't for the Marauders, however, I can't say it right now, bullying him to the point of God knows how long. I mean, they probably even bullied him after school. We don't know. But that doesn't give him the excuse to do what he did.
Now, when you're talking about the Marauders, you're talking about like James
Sirius,
Potter and
James,
like
Sirius, Remus,
Wormtail.
and Dickhead.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was bullied by them, and that's one of the reasons that he absolutely hates Harry is because he reminds him so much of his dad.
Yeah,
And
but
again, I'm not saying
he gave as good as he got. I mean, it's not like Severus Snape is a saint that's just like, oh, I'm just here to study and do my schoolwork. Bullshit. The man was doing the same thing, and probably even worse. And that does not stop the fact that he became a Death Eater to begin with.
Again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving him any excuses. I'm just saying
personal responsibility.
I'm saying as it comes to Harry, the way he treated Harry, not him becoming a Death Eater and
piece
stuff.
of shit.
So.
Okay.
All right. To the next point.
Sorry. Let's move on.
So we can get off the Snape situation. The Sorcerer's Stone. Why exactly was it in the school? I have two theories on this one. So this is a two-parter. But if Dumbledore, we see it in the 5th book, Dumbledore absolutely cares for his students. Does not want to bring any harm to his students. I can't remember her name, but the sneak, the girl who turned in
Marietta Edgecombe.
She turned in the club, and she got sneak written on her face. When she wouldn't tell Umbridge anything, Dumbledore's been quiet the whole time, even in the books. Dustin, you're a mudblood, so you won't know this. In the movies, Dumbledore comes off shaking Harry and, did you put your name in the goblet of fire? But in the books, he's, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
You're mixing.
Yeah, but I'm taking a long road to get to my point. But in the book, the 5th book, Marietta Edgecombe, she won't tell Umbridge, and Dumbledore's been calm this entire time. Umbridge grabs hold and starts to try to be violent with the student. Dumbledore shoots up and is ready to take her out. And she lets go. So if he cares for the protection of his students, why would he bring this stone to Hogwarts? Something that he knows that there's going to be all sorts of people after, all sorts of wicked people.
4 words. For the greater good.
For the pig to be slaughtered later.
So I had 2 theories on this. All right, so the first one is he knew Voldemort was still out there. And this was a way to make him show himself, like a way to trick him to come into the light so that he could be sure that he was out there. Yeah.
Lure him
It
out.
was just a fishing line, so he cast it out there, and sure enough, Voldemort takes the bait and comes out. And then the second one is that he wanted to drink from the stone itself. That way he could stay alive long enough to lead the pig to slaughter. As somebody else would say. He wanted to train Harry to be ready for when Voldemort does eventually rise to power and come back. Personally, I think it's the first one.
That goes. It's if it's any of either of these two, it's the first one, because the second one is completely against character. Because he continues, like, throughout the series, he like constantly talks about death as being just the next great adventure. That there are things to fear in life beyond just death. Death is nothing to be afraid of. So, trying to prolong his life just so he could teach Harry when he's in relatively decent shape for being over 100 years old. Obviously, wizards live longer than Muggles do. But I don't see that second one as being, very, just my personal opinion. I don't think it would be something he would do. I know Nicholas Flamel did it, and he's lived for hundreds of years. And I think the first one is more likely of the two. So.
He does age like crazy in between Fantastic Beast and...
Oh, God, yeah. Also, his wardrobe, I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, 3-piece suits looking
And not
pretty
even...
fly,
And that's like in a matter of, like, a few years, because I think the last Fantastic Beast movie was based in, like, 1930-something. And then Voldemort's in...
It was, yep.
And Hogwarts just a few years later.
That's true. 1950s, I think, is when he shows up.
No, because he was born in 1927. So it'd be like the early 40s.
Yeah. But he really does go from, like, wearing, like, some cool-ass suits to, like, being like, you know who's awesome? Merlin.
1938 is when Voldemort arrives at Hogwarts.
So, like, the time that we're talking would be, like, 1943.
Yeah. And he defeats Grindelwald in 1945. But that's when Voldemort disappears.
Yeah, I want to say it's 43 is when he opened the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah. It would have been his... When did Myrtle die? We're getting into
Yes,
different.
we need to save that for next movie. Jordan,
Yes,
what's
we
your
do.
thoughts on the theory?
I'd go with the first side of it. I can't. I mean, I don't think Dumbledore.
You're talking
I
about
don't think
luring
Dumbledore,
Voldemort out, right?
Yeah, luring him out. I don't think Dumbledore at any point would care to like extend his life. Just me personally. But I can see him trying to be someone that's. He knows something's stirring up. He knows that there's going to be a time and a place where this is going to happen. And don't get me wrong, while the plans he makes up may not be the nicest to some people, he's a goddamn good master plan person. Like, he can make up a good plan.
He's a master strategist.
Yeah, he very much so. So yeah, I think with that being said, using the stone to lure out Voldemort is probably more so what he was doing with it. Because realistically, what else could he be doing? I don't see him trying to preserve his life, even at that point. So it would have had to have been like a, come on out. We've been seeing that some animals in the Forbidden Forest have been getting eaten and their blood sucked on.
Unicorns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Question here.
Shoot.
Why do you think he's so against trying to extend his life? Like, as somebody who's, not as versed in the lore and stuff. I mean, if you could, why wouldn't you try?
It goes with what Rob said, though, with his point on it. It's not in his character. If you look at Dumbledore's character as a whole, he doesn't really care about that. Like, think about like Voldemort. Voldemort was trying to extend his life to where no one can kill him, right? And that's why he split his soul doing the Horcruxes. Dumbledore always remains that it's black, dark magic. No one should ever do this type of thing. Even more so with Rob's point is that death is not the end. So for him, it's like whenever his time came, it is what it is. Because if he wanted to extend his life, he had several opportunities to do so. And when he gets when he touches the Horcrux that, curses his hand and all that, and Snape's like, you have like a year to live, maybe. Right then and there, he could have been like, all right, well, I'm going to go save myself. I'm going to go find a way that I can preserve my life and try and fix all of this. Because there's still options. Just because it wasn't a curable thing doesn't mean he couldn't use the stone, doesn't mean he couldn't go seek out ways to do this with other relics. So, he knew his time was up. And think about what he's lived through. He kills his gay lover.
That's true.
And possibly his sister.
And he's responsible. His brother and him don't have a good relationship.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
He has to literally I know we're talking about the raising Harry to be a pig and to be slaughtered at some point, and it's his plan. Think about the amount of fucking stress that had to have caused him. Because as we know, he cares about his students. He definitely cares about, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, cares about Harry way more than any other student. And there's reason for it. Obviously, he's part of the plan, but
does he even really care about him? Like, honestly, does he care about keeping him safe long enough?
No, in the
or does he
in the
care
fifth
about
book, he avoids Harry most of the time, and it's because he was starting to really, really care about Harry, and he was trying to distance himself because he knew what had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But initially, he probably didn't. Like, if we're in the first movie realm right now, first book, it was more of a job, like a strategy, right?
I'd say possibly. I think that he, like we were saying, he does care for his students, and he definitely wants to keep Harry around. But I don't think he cares for him as much as he does the other students. But he does see Harry's kind of his, we'll say his bishop at this point for the chess, like in chess. So he's got to keep him around to make those moves.
But he's definitely a pawn to him.
See, I wouldn't say he's fully on a pawn, though.
I think he's a little bit higher.
Dumbledore clearly cares about Harry. Yeah, Dumbledore clearly cares about Harry. I don't think that should be refuted at all. If we're only talking about the first movie, you could make case for that he just cares for all of his students. But as it grows, like there is a love there. Almost like Dumbledore became a stepfather figure that cared about Harry. But in that instance, also leads him to slaughter because of his plan. So that's just my thought on it.
Okay. Let's move on to...
It's a discussion for another day.
All right, let's move on to the next one. So this one is one that I got from the Carlin brothers as well. And they got it from a fan, and they dove into this one, and I thought it was pretty nice, or pretty cool. So do the challenges, and this is in the book, so it's going to be all 7 challenges. Do the challenges predict all the books and everything? So like in the first challenge, the Fluffy would represent, we'll say, Hagrid. Because Hagrid pretty much carried that first book, and he's the Care Magical Creatures teacher by book 3. But he's also, like, he gets the dragon, and he kind of carries the whole story on this one because he tells Harry stuff that he shouldn't be able to know. I mean, it's a joke in the movies, I shouldn't have told you that. The whole movie. The second one is Devil's Snare. So book 2 is, when they hit the thing, they say it's snake-like tendrils start wrapping him up, the basilisk. But also, you could refer to Thomas Riddle here as the devil. And he has a trap set for Ginny. So it'd be a devil's snare. The third one is the key challenge, where Harry has to catch the key. What do keys unlock? Prisoners of Azkaban. Setting Sirius free. I know I said it wrong.
Yeah, I would say, like, out of all of them, like, the first 2 you were, like, spot on with, and that one's like, what do keys unlock? Only prisoners, not doors.
I don't know why.
Well, they would be under lock and key, I guess, right?
It's been my brain. Look, I told you I was nervous on this, and I'm trying to read and remember everything at the same time.
There was a hard sell. There was a hard sell.
That's a hard sell on that one. But hey, but also it was a silver key. And what color's the Patronus Harry cast? Silver doe or silver. Oh my God, it's not a doe. A silver stag. So the fourth one, the fourth one is the chess set, and in the fourth book, it's of course the Triwizard Tournament, the Quidditch World Cup. So it's pretty much just a bunch of games. But also you have pretty much in the battle of good versus evil. We'll say Harry's the white and Voldemort's the black. Voldemort tries to take out Harry and make black go first. However, we know white always goes first in chess. So Harry gets away and makes sure white goes first. Yes.
So the 7th one, is it split into 2 parts and it's a major cash grab?
All right. So this is where we kind of differ from the movies. Because they took out the 5th and 6th one. So in the 5th one is the troll who was Quarrels. This one's obvious, boys. Troll, Umbridge, Troll, Umbridge. Come on now. Come on.
Rob is losing his shit over here.
But not only that, they also have their owls, and one of the worst grades you can get in an owl is a troll.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm stretching, but I'm trying. All right, now this one is like the one that really kind of actually made sense to me. So the 6th task that he has to go through is the potion one, where he has to drink the certain potion. Not only is it potions where he thrives throughout that whole book because of the Half-Blood Prince, but the Half-Blood Prince turns out to be Snape, whose task this one is. So that one just kind of was like, well, I guess this one kind of made me see that it could possibly be. But then, of course, we got the seventh and final, where he finally comes face to face for the first time with Lord Voldemort, so to speak. I mean, it's
versus like the fifth time he's seen him in the actual seventh book.
yes. So this is like their first time battling versus their last time battling. Yes.
It's the confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're stretching, bro.
I told you this was going to be a hard one, but
He's flying after keys. Keys unlock doors. Doors
it's
are
a
in
silver
prison.
key.
Sirius Black. Escape from prison. Silver key.
No locked
Patronus is
doors.
That
out
one was
silver.
like the hardest
There's
one for
nothing
me to
else?
like when they came up with this one, I was like, And, like it was.
I'm sorry.
That was. I was like,
That
You
so
know what? You had
some
me.
of
You had me in the first two. I could maybe see that. Then you got to the keys and you started losing me. And then you went to Troll and I was like, no.
come on now, Troll and Umbridge just works.
Troll
It-
looks like
some of that-
Umbridge.
yeah,
Umbridge
some
looks
of
like a
some of
toad,
that
bro.
sounded like. Did you guys ever watch the number 23, the movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
So some of it sounded like him theorizing from that. It's like, well, I have 10 fingers and I have 2 eyes and I have 1 nose. 23. Like shit like that.
I mean, some of that
Yeah,
doesn't
like-
sound bad though. Like,
Yeah,
some
look,
of it
10,
doesn't-
10,
some
10
of it-
fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, 1 nose. 23.
I was listening to this one.
And some of that is possible. I think, especially the final one, the confrontation. But some of these, you're
The
reaching
two
at,
that I
man,
really
and
think are reaching are
that's-
3 and 5.
Oh god.
Well,
yeah.
if 3 wasn't a reach, I don't know
Like
what the
they
fuck
were,
is a reach.
like
then.
I listened to this again.
He's got to do the silver key, and you know what? Keys unlocked.
Yeah, I watched
Prisoners.
this episode of their theory thing today again. I was just like, man, this is going to be a
Yeah.
hard sell on this episode tonight. But I was like, I got to try it at least.
hard sell. I'm
Yeah.
not buying. I applaud you.
I had to
trying,
get it out
James,
there, you know?
But no, I understand.
now the thing
No,
I'm
I
wondering
understand.
too. I mean, you guys know much more about this than I do, but like, how much of this did she have planned out? Did she know she was doing 7 books from the start?
Yes.
Like, if this is possible, like, follow me
yeah.
on
She
that.
wrote the epilogue, like as she was writing the first book, so she had an idea of what direction she wanted to go. But I don't think she had it all completely planned out from the start. I think
There's no way
had
she
an
had 7 books
idea.
planned.
No, I think she had an idea, but I don't think she had it all the way. And honestly, once you got the Half-Blood Prince, that's probably my least favorite book.
See, that's fucked up because that's my favorite, like, least favorite book, but my favorite movie. That's the best movie adaptation they did, in my opinion.
I don't know. See, okay, I'm about the. I love the books. The movies are okay. Like on multiple rewatches, I'm at a point where I just get so frustrated with it that I remember going to the midnight showings for Prisoner, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix. I was at the midnight showings for all of those, and
Hell yeah.
and it was a blast. I loved it. It was so much fun. I loved it. It was like, these movies are awesome. But then rewatching them over and over, and especially now as I'm getting older, I'm like, they have dropped the ball so
Rob's
hard.
become vindictive as an adult.
I have. I really have. So it's
Rob,
so
I
it's-
love seeing
it's-
the side of you, by the way. This is that like nerd rage that I get with Star
I'm with Rob
Wars.
on this one.
And I never get to see anybody else have these like freak out moments and stuff. I love it.
Like when in my opinion, and Jordan May is probably going to disagree, but I think the first 2 movies were the best. I think they stuck the closest to the books because Christopher Columbus wanted to stick close. The only thing is we need.
Yeah.
I think they stuck close. I don't think they're the best books or best.
I don't think they're the
movies,
best movies, but I think
but
they're
I
the closest
think
to the books.
they stuck the closest to the books.
I'll give you that, but goddamn, whenever me and my wife every year around fall, winter time, mainly December, we rewatch all the movies in a row. And let me tell you, every year so far, when the first 2 movies are on, I would rather be shitting my pants than watching them. I hate those movies so much. They're so fucking boring. Yes. Once
are
you get
kinda
to once you get to number 3 and on, that's where the good stuff is.
That's true.
I really like watching what is it, Prisoner of Azkaban?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that one's
that's
really
number 3.
That's probably
that's an
my
amazing
favorite
one.
book.
That's number 2 in the movies for me.
You know what my least favorite is
okay.
That's
in the movies? Goblet of Fire.
which one?
It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
They don't have the Quidditch World Cup. They don't.
Nope.
It's a scary. No,
Yes, they do.
They just start it.
They don't show
Yeah,
the
they don't
game.
show the game, which
They
would be
don't-
amazing to see.
They don't have the money to show the game.
They didn't have like a lot of the stuff too. There's like a lot of stuff
Yeah.
missing from like, that was from one thing to another.
But here's see, that's the thing with Harry Potter. The movies are cool. It's good to see them on the big screen. They need to turn this into a show.
because we do need tongue talking.
HBO Max needs to turn this into a streaming series.
There was
because
rumors
then
of
they can get into the nitty gritty detail.
Yeah. There was rumors of doing a TV show for HBO Max about like Voldemort's uprising.
That would be dope. I would love
Yeah.
to see that.
I would like that's something I've been talking about for a long time. That I would much rather because like Fantastic Beasts almost gets me there, where I'm like I like these movies. They're good. I like that they go into the older lore, familiar faces, but I more or less want to see, like, I want to see Tom Riddle go through Hogwarts and then go to become and like his transformation into Voldemort and then his takeover of the like that's what I want to see.
Yeah, and why all those kids weren't born. Yeah, metal.
Voldemort kills children.
He does.
No,
that's that's my theory for that for number 3. He was killing kids
Fantastic
off.
Beasts and Where to Find Them was amazing. I honestly thought that was a very good movie, and I really enjoyed it. The second one, a little less so. You start to lose me. Honestly, I didn't even make it through the third Fantastic Beasts movie.
Really? See,
I know we're not
I liked
talking
the
about
third
the
one. I
Fantastic
liked the
Beasts.
third one.
But like, it frustrates me to no end that they spend like a third of the movie just showing you like, oh, here's a deer, and it's beautiful and majestic,
Well-
and it's like, what does that have to do
well-
with the story, though?
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
You just found them.
You found the deer.
But it's like if I wanted to watch that, I'd just sit at home and watch cat videos on YouTube or something.
To be fair, if anything, they shouldn't have brought like Grindelwald and stuff like that into it because they should have stuck more true to like the actual like animals of the world.
That would be like a
Yes.
good TV
If they're
show.
going to call it Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, yes, that would have been like a fun little
Like a
a
fake
side-
documentary.
like,
Yeah, side
random
thing.
TV show.
Yeah,
Like if you're going to go into like what happens with
you shouldn't
Grindelwald
call it
Wars.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
No. So
Would anybody really want to see like a 2.5 hour movie of Newt hanging out with
No,
some
it'd
like
be like the
penguins?
Crocodile Hunter.
No,
but I'd
but
watch
that's-
a
but that-
30-minute show.
Yeah, a 30-minute show. But
I'd
that's
watch
the
a
point.
30-minute show on
That's the
HBO
point.
Max.
They do like 10 minutes of the Fantastic Beasts.
Bro, can't you just...
They don't show Where to Find Them, and then they do action. It's like
Yeah, the Thunderbirds just hanging
like just
out.
change,
Just turns into,
change-
like,
change-
Dora the
change-
Explorer.
change the title.
Like he's like,
Oh, bloody hell.
oh, it's
there's
right
a-
here.
There's a Thunderbird right behind me.
It's like
Holy shit.
it's like Steve Irwin,
Cruelty.
except for magical animals. Come on,
That would be dope,
great.
actually.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, just fucking
Yeah.
change the title.
I agree.
All right. So this one I've been keeping secret from you guys. Because this one shocked...
goddamn.
This one threw me for a loop when I first read this.
To be fair, your theory for the third challenge threw us for a fucking
Well,
loop.
this one's kind of dark.
Key prison.
This one is dark, and this one is. Personally, I kind of don't believe it, but then at the same time, when I was reading it, I kind of was like, "Oh." So I kept this one secret so I can get y'all's real time reactions to this. So Jordan, you got to unmute. Okay.
I'm unmuted. Sorry, I was moving my chair. It was really loud.
So-
My bad.
For reference, we know that Voldemort made an accidental Horcrux in Harry Potter. Could Harry Potter have made an accidental Horcrux when he took out Quirrell?
No.
All right, and we'll see you guys next week.
No.
Why not, though?
No.
No. Written, directed by Mick G.
Because there's a process to creating a Horcrux, and at that point, Voldemort's soul was so unstable that yes, it was ripped apart already, and it created a Horcrux. Plus, he was planning on making another Horcrux out of Harry's death, so he was prepped for it. Harry wasn't prepped to make a Horcrux. He wasn't even intending to kill. It's murder that creates a Horcrux. Harry's intention was not to murder Quirrell. It was to get him the hell off him. No.
Is it?
Sorry,
Yeah, but
I know we're not shitting on theories, but
yeah, hold on.
I gotta
hold
take
on
a
real quick.
big ass dump on that one.
Hold on, real quick.
No.
Is it intent of murder or is it just murder?
I thought it was the guilt of the
Is
murder.
intent of murder. It is to literally murder.
Like the only way you can create a
plan
Horcrux
to
is
murder.
you're planning a murder, you commit the murder, and then you can split your soul. You can't accidentally murder someone and then split your
No.
soul.
Nope.
Well, the thing is
It is cold-blooded murder.
but Voldemort didn't have time to do the ritual because he died, or got zapped by his own spell.
We don't know how you create a Horcrux to begin with. Other than the fact that there is a ritual involved. Is it pre-murder? Is it post-murder?
If I recall,
we
it's
don't
post.
know.
I think this is coming from J.K.
But at the same time, yes, but at the same time, his soul was so unstable at that point. It just bloop, bloop, bloop. And it was an accident. It was not. He was planning on killing people that night. Harry had no intentions at all of killing Quirrell. No.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Just real quick. So this is from wizardingworld.com, just because I wanted to see if there was anything to that. This says here, to create a Horcrux is to commit a horrific sin in the wizarding world. It doesn't say murder. It says horrific sin.
Which would be killing somebody. It doesn't matter.
Now, granted, Harry didn't do that. The way that Harry would have been self-defense.
I just want to throw this out here. How you create a Horcrux or not, aside, right? Take that, move it over to the side, right? If he did create a Horcrux, right, what would be the point of it? And
Well, he wouldn't know.
how would that play in?
Well, no,
Plus he would
not
be
not.
11.
Hold on. It wasn't that he planned to make a Horcrux. It was, did he accidentally make a Horcrux?
Okay, but if he did, how does that play into anything?
No, it doesn't.
Is there any
No, it
ramifications to it,
Well,
or
the theory was that
wouldn't he lose part of his humanity?
The theory was that his accidental Horcrux was the Philosopher's Stone.
The Philosopher's Stone.
The Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, if you're
The accidental Horcrux that
so the Philosopher's Stone was the if I'm not mistaken,
original.
like the
Yeah.
English version. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I know what it is. I'm just,
But it doesn't really have any. It was just like we were saying, just random theories that we were coming up with. And I heard this one, I was like, could it? And I mean,
no.
I don't see it being true personally, but it's just one out there that makes you think.
It makes Rob think
Really
no.
dumb.
Well, I had a part 2 to this one, and I was going to save it for the next Harry Potter episode because it has to do with Chamber of Secrets.
All right, well, we got
Yeah.
a while before that one. I need to calm down after this.
Well, here, we'll go for one more theory, and this is just kind of a thought, not really a theory. So we know Voldy was he was going to make a Horcrux out of Harry. What object do you think he was taking?
His glasses. As a baby.
Harry didn't have glasses.
His rattle.
What?
I'm just fucking with you.
Because
Oh, man, how fucked
Like,
up would
because,
that
like-
be if one of his Horcruxes was a rattle?
he had,
Oh my god.
Even no matter
The
what.
ring, the locket.
It was
the cup, the
it was
rattle.
it was the star on his mobile.
They're looking, it's like a book, a fucking snake, tiara.
the cup, the locket.
Yeah, and then it's like, a rattle? That is one evil
well, the
motherfucker.
snake didn't become a Horcrux until he came back.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
Voldemort's got a
Just naming off the
Voldemort's
few
got
that
a
I knew.
Voldemort's got a thing of 7.
That's the 4th movie
Yeah.
/ book. We're getting far ahead of
So
ourselves.
my theory, my thought is somehow he got the sword of Gryffindor.
No.
Well, think about it. He had
How?
the I don't
How?
know. That's what I'm getting at.
The most Slytherin to ever Slytherin got the sword
It
of
was
Gryffindor?
missing
No.
until Harry pulled it.
Come on, bullshit. Oh, yeah, and Voldemort, the most Slytherin to ever
I don't think
Slytherin,
he
got
may have
the sword
he
of
may have
Gryffindor.
stolen it
No.
somehow, and then it disappeared
Get
that
out of
night.
here with that nonsense. Get out of here
Think
with
about
that
it.
nonsense.
He had the Gaunt family ring, his diary.
You're so
Now
foolish.
here's where it gets there.
This is terrible.
Salazar Slytherin's locket,
Because he's a descendant of Slytherin.
Hufflepuff's goblet,
Because he killed someone and took it.
Ravenclaw's diadem,
Because he tricked Helena Ravenclaw and found out
and then
where
he was
it
in Dumbledore's office. Where the
Okay.
sword of Gryffindor usually
And
is.
it wasn't in. No, it wasn't
where was
there. It was lost. Read the second book, dumbass. It was lost. No one knew where it was.
I should have pre-warned you guys that Rob gets a little angry with the Harry Potter stuff.
If he was able to trick somebody into telling him where the diadem is, how couldn't he been able to find?
He's got to trick random guy number 5
Why not?
where the sword of Gryffindor is. Because there's no random guy number
that
5
we know of.
The sword disappeared eons ago. No one knew where it was. But all of a sudden, Voldemort's just going to find out because, he's
Yes.
Voldemort? No.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, just to like devil's advocate on this one.
Go back to hell, Jordan.
Hold on. A 12-year-old pulled it out of thin air.
Out of a hat, but
Because he's a Gryffindor.
Hold on, stop. We're talking about one of the most powerful wizards in the world, and you're saying that he has no chance of ever finding that sword versus a 12-year-old pulling it?
No.
I don't know.
Oh,
Because Harry is the prototypical Gryffindor. Because he was able to pull it from the... we're in the wrong movie now, guys. God damn it. Why do you guys do this to me?
oh, this is going to be amazing. You have set the tone for my Star Wars episode so hard. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to rage out on you guys.
I'm done. I'm going.
Yeah, Rob
you're
is
already
uh,
home, Rob.
Rob gets a little. There's two things Rob gets cranky about, and it's definitely the Harry Potter series, followed by me, him, and the Die Hard's not a Christmas movie theory.
Fuck you. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I've come to terms with you never believing me with Die Hard as a Christmas movie. But
I'm fine with
Harry
that.
Potter is the hill I will die on. So,
Oh, man. We have, 7 more of these?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun with these.
Well, I guess technically, 8, because you wanted to do, an overall one, right?
I wanted to do an overarching episode, but that's just me.
I love this.
It's just going to be a lot of anger.
Yes. Rob Freak Out episodes is going to be amazing. I can't wait to come up with the most dumbass theories and just, straight face, throw them at you
Justin's
guys.
gonna be sending me all these weird ass things now.
Rob, locks open doors. Locks open doors.
A lot more, bitch. All right, so on that, guys,
Wrap it
this is the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys for joining us. So, we got the socials, right, Rob? No, not yet.
not
Oh,
yet.
we're getting them. Are we gonna get on YouTube with this?
Although you can contact... I'm not...
we
putting
should
it
we should have Dustin.
If one of you could figure it out.
I gotta.
Yeah.
This would have been perfect because of the Harry Potter shelf. Oh yeah, you see the Gryffindor. You
I'm
see
angry
the Gryffindor.
now. I'm angry now. I gotta go watch Ted Lasso to calm down.
All right, so we'll be on social media at some point. You can message Rob, or just hit us up on Facebook.
You contact us at the Centerway Society at
There-
gmail.com.
oh.
That's our email address.
Oh, we got a Gmail.
Yeah.
We're like business.
Yeah, because it's free.
That's fancy.
If you want to send us our Cash App, no. All right, it's been great, guys.
Cash App is coming.
All right,
That's fine. And this is where we
This
end the
is it
show.
now.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
It's Leviosa.
Who keeps banging?
I keep hearing it too.
Hold on, it might be me. Let me check.
God, Jordan.
No, it might be because I have my messenger loaded. Let's see.
Yeah, that'll do it. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
That'll do it. That's alright. No worries. Her, my one. Yeah.
I just heard it. That was not me.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was me, honestly.
I kept looking.
It was like every single time that I heard it, I also looked over my phone, and my band chat's going off. But that last time, I was like, nothing happened.
Yeah, apparently it's me. Sorry.
Dustin's porn notifications are going off. Brand new Bukkake video.
New shit popping up on Pornhub.
He's on feetfinder.com.
Where did the whole feet thing, like, where did that come from?
What do you mean? I was just joking.
When that started up, that conversation was going on, I was at work, and we have this thing about only feets. It's not only feet, it's only feets. And it's just this running gag, and I think we started talking about, we were talking at the same time, and it just happened. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back
to the next...
Patreon and Dustin's Only Feets.
Patreon / the Centerway Society. Yeah, Dustin's Only Feet.
Yeah, contribute to my own.
Find Dustin on feetfinder.com.
Hell yeah, best feet only.
Oh my God. He's going to start
Right.
waving a wand with his foot now.
Like holding them between my toes and shit.
Oh, God.
Oh.
We have officially gone off the rails now.